Here we go. Welcome to week 22.
Here's to the ladies who write.
Yes.
We're going to sing their songs.
Should we just get straight in?
Yeah, you guys, welcome. Push the share button if you would, please. And yeah, say hi. Tell us where you're watching from. Here we go. Hi, Alice. Woo! Hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Suzanne. The day starts like the rest we've seen. Another carving copy of an old routine. Days keep coming, one out, one in. They keep coming. I don't know what I wish I had, but there's no time now for thinking things like that. We got too much to do.
Too much to do.
All these same things, we're always opening up, letting the day in. Over a cup, we'll say hello. How you been? Looking around, seeing the same things every day brings. Hello, how you been? Thank you, come again. Some things never change.
I wouldn't call this place a happy end, but I've been around the block and just came back again. A small town like ours ain't much, but sometimes home is where your ass ends up.
Ordered up is how the day will find me. Everything in its place and timing. I like the way most of the days look exactly the same. Check the clock, tick, tick, tock.
Don't stop, serve with a smile.
Hurry up, fill the coffee cup, and then in a while, take a breath when you need to be reminded that with days like these, we can only do the best we can. Till we'll do it again.
Come on now.
Opening up, letting the day in. Opening up, some things never change. Hello, how you been? Thank you, come again. Some things never change. Woo!
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Wow.
Welcome.
I
Hi, Julie.
I want some pie now.
Me too.
Yeah, that'd be quite nice.
Thank you for that birthday wish. Yes, this is my birthday weekend.
Yes, so Heather was actually born around midnight between yesterday and today, and was allowed to choose, wasn't it? Your mom was allowed to choose.
Yeah, I didn't choose.
You didn't choose.
But yeah, my
Your
parents
mom
did.
chose which day you could have as your birthday. So
Yeah.
technically, yesterday was her chosen birthday, but today...
On the birth certificate, it says the 20th, but I still claim the 21st as my birthday as well.
Yeah, so she gets two epic birthdays together. And what a lovely way to spend it with all of you guys.
Yes,
So,
thank you. Celebrating women. Even,
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's fantastic.
And who knows, maybe another one.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
don't know.
who
yet.
knows? We don't know yet. It could be.
She could be a very prolific musical theater writer in her future.
Well, that would be very lovely.
Yes, it would be.
No money, ever.
That's right. Hit the share button, please, ladies and gentlemen. That helps us out immensely. You can share this broadcast as we get going with these wonderful ladies who have contributed to the musical theater canon over the years.
Yeah. That was obviously opening up from the opening of Waitress the Musical by Sarah Bareilles.
The show that had the first all-female creative team. Yeah, so the director, choreographer, Sarah wrote Sarah, my buddy, wrote the music and lyrics, and then there was a female book writer as well. So that's kind of cool. And actually the original screenplay was written by a woman too. But we're gonna jump backwards in time, and we're gonna focus on a woman named Mary Rodgers, whose father was a very famous composer. You might have heard of him, Richard Rodgers. Mm-hmm. She followed in her dad's footsteps, and she was like buddies with Steve Sondheim. They like hung out together. They all came up together. The character Mary in Merrily We Roll Along is based off of her.
Oh yeah, it's based on Mary, isn't it?
But yeah, so she really only had 2 shows that were successful that she composed. We're going to focus on the composers first.
Yes, we're doing sections of composers, then lyricists, and then a section of composer and lyricist. i.e. those who write both.
Yes.
Thank you.
Her most well-known shows were Once Upon a Mattress and The Mad Show. And she then, after her very short Broadway career, moved on to then write novels. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know this, but she wrote Freaky Friday. You know the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
cool, right?
Cool.
Yeah. The book and the movie she did.
But then her son
is
another prolific musical writer now, Adam Gettle.
Who wrote The Light in the Piazza.
And Floyd Collins.
Yes.
And a thing called Myths and Hymns, which is really cool. So yeah, you may hear some of his stuff later on in one of our things, but we don't care about the men today.
No. Well, yeah.
Well, we still care about the men. But
anyway, we're gonna sing from Once Upon a Mattress. This is a duet that Harry and Lady Larkin, Sir Harry and Lady Larkin sing. Now they are pregnant out of wedlock. But the reason it's out of wedlock is because nobody's allowed to get married. So he has to go and find the prince a wife, and then they can get married, and then their child will be legitimate. So this is about the waiting game for that. Hi, Alan. Yes, exactly. 2 birthdays, just like the Queen.
It won't be long, it
Thank
won't
you,
be
Sarah
long,
Ann.
it won't because it can't be long before our dreams come true. Because you know I don't belong, and furthermore I shan't belong to anyone but you. In a little while, just a little while, you and I will be 1, 2, 3, 4. In a little while I will see your smile on the face of my son to be forever hand in glove is the way I have it planned. But I'll only stay in love if the glove contains your hand.
In her velvet gown, I'll be coming down the aisle, and it's bound to seem as though the waiting's only been a little while.
Have you any idea how soon, my love?
May.
Okay.
My time is at a premium, for soon the world will see me a maternal bride to be. I know I mustn't worry, Harry, still I wish you'd hurry, Harry. Harry, marry me.
In a little while, just a little while, you and I will be 1, 2, 3, 4. In a little while I will see your smile on the face of my son to be forever hand in glove is the way I have it planned. But I'll only stay in love if the glove contains your hand. I can see it all, down to every small detail. So I wish you'd look around until you found a castle in the neighborhood for sale. I mean, it's a lovely little melody.
It's cute, isn't it? Yes.
We did sort of comment earlier on how the melody doesn't quite go where you're expecting it to go.
No, it keeps modulating. It's very interesting.
Yeah, but it has like a sort of a reminiscent bounce of her father's work as well, in a way. And actually the complexity of where the melody sort of moves to kind of starts to feel a bit like how Adam Gettle's music actually does as well. Like there's a lot of kind of weird changes and shifts that you're not exactly expecting to happen. So I think you can sort of see the progression through the family line of musicianship and what they brought to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's something I was picking up on.
Well done.
Thank you.
Smart man. Hi, Michelle. So we are going to move then. We're going to jump to just a few years ago. There was a show that came out called It Should Have Been You. And the music was written by Barbara, I think her name is pronounced Anselmi. But this musical was directed by David Hyde Pierce, and it kind of shows like how female composers and lyricists have really been able to change the stories of the women that they're telling. And this one in particular is the role was played by Sierra Boggess, and it is about a girl who is going to get married very soon, like the next day, and she's deciding if she goes through with it or if she should come out to her family because she's gay. So it's like wrestling within herself of trying to be what her family wants her to be, but also wanting to remain true to herself. So this is just a sweet little song called A Little Bit Less Than. Gosh, I get so out of breath just talking.
Sorry.
Pregnant.
Hello, Uncle Steve and Auntie Val. Thanks for tuning in.
Easy to do, that's what they say. Why are you waiting to pick up the phone, blast off a text? Stop this debating. The people you love, they need to know. Don't even try to defend it. Seeing your mom, seeing the look, that's what you're dreading. And don't forget Dad starting to cry, announcing your wedding. Just saying the word shatters their dreams. What if you're not able to mend it? But you know, the longer you wait, the harder it gets. So try to stick to the plan. Be true to yourself, you'll have no regrets. Still you keep feeling they'll think you're just a little bit less than. If they don't ask and you don't tell, they'll miss the best of you. When you deny part of your life, you'll risk the rest of you. Sure you can pass keeping the show. Deep down you know it's time to end it. And the harder you wait, the harder it gets. So better stick to the plan. Be true to yourself, you'll have no regrets. Don't be afraid that they'll think you're just a little bit less than. Strangers you meet, friends from before. Step to the edge, walk through the door. No one is gonna stop you anymore. Silence isn't golden, speak up right away. Bring those surprises to light. You know the life that you've lived is just not right. The longer you wait, the harder it gets to tell them. The more you pretend, the more they've a right to condemn. Be true to yourself, you'll have no regrets. If you believe you can, announce it by decree. Let loose to love, be free. If I don't, I'll really be a little bit less than. Ding.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool lyrics.
There's actually a lot of really great music from that show. I highly, highly recommend checking it out. There's a song called Jenny's Blues that once I can breathe, I'll probably try to sing at some point. But it's really, really freaking cool. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go.
There you go. Stay true to yourself, y'all.
It is that
Thanks, Carrie.
wonderful time where we just announce the tip jar.
Thanks,
As always,
Jordan.
this concert is free of charge. It does cost us to sort of put these together, but we do it because we love it and we love to bring some stuff to you guys every week. So there is a tip jar. Information is along the bottom. PayPal, Venmo, or if you want to pay with credit cards or anything like that, or debit cards, Apple Pay, things like that, scan the QR code in the top corner and you'll be directed to a payment thing.
There's also a link for that too, if you can't figure out the QR code in the description. So there you go.
Smashing it.
Amazing.
So yeah, thank you very much. Some people have already tipped before we've even announced it. So thank you very much. And yeah, let's carry on.
Keep on, yeah.
Keep on.
So one of my favorite scores of all time.
Yes, this is an incredible score. We already sang a song from this.
I must love you very much that I let you sing a song from this score.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, seriously though, it's so amazing.
I think we can come back and do more of this score because it's so good. We're talking, of course, of The Secret Garden by Lucy Simon and Marsha Norman. We're focusing on Lucy Simon's contribution at this particular moment in time.
Marsha Norman wrote the lyrics in the book, though, and she won the Tony, actually, for writing the book.
Yes.
Yes.
I sort of zoned out. I was like, hold on. Yes. But Lucy Simon is actually the older sister of Carly Simon. Who knew?
You're so vain. Yeah.
You probably think this song in the mountain. And so this opened on Broadway in 1991, and I didn't really know much about The Secret Garden until the RSC did it, or Shakespeare Company, back in 2000.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, Philip Quast, isn't it? And obviously then I realised, oh, Mandy Patinkin was in the original. So although I am neither of those guys, I was going to sing a song from this for you.
Yay.
And essentially, it is all about a bit of earth. She wants a little bit of earth. She'll plant some seeds. The seeds will grow. The flowers bloom. But is their bounty what she needs? How can she chance to love a little bit of earth? Does she not know the earth is old and doesn't care if one small girl wants things to grow? She needs a friend. She needs a father, brother, sister, mother's arms. She needs to laugh. She needs to dance and learn to work her girlish charms. She needs a home, the only thing she really needs I cannot give. Instead she asks a bit of earth to make it live. She should have a pony, gallop across the moor. She should have a doll's house with 100 rooms per floor. Why can't she ask for a treasure? Something that money can buy, that won't die when I give her the world. She asks instead for some earth, a bit of earth. She wants a little bit of earth. She'll plant some seeds. The seeds will grow. The flowers bloom. Their beauty just the thing she needs. She'll grow to love the tender roses, lilies fair, the iris tall. And then in fall, a bit of earth will freeze and kill them all. A bit of earth, a bit of earth, a bit of earth, a bit of
Beautiful.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I was really glad to find like just a piano version because then you can just
highlights her composition.
Yeah. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
We're gonna actually sing another song written by Lucy Simon later on from the other show that she wrote.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Because actually, it feels like I haven't heard much of them, and it's such a beautiful score. Like there must be so many other works that I haven't just never even looked into.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I need to do that.
Especially, definitely, just like lush orchestral shows too.
All the melodies are sweeping and they're just beautiful. But I kind of it actually highlights a very important and sad point that I don't know where to go to find out things about female composers, lyricists, anyone really, because
we did a lot of Googling.
Yeah.
Prolific female composers and lyricists, and across the board, a lot of things that we read where people are like, well, there's not that many. Because it's been such a male-dominated industry for so long. It's been difficult for women to break into it. There were a handful of them, specifically lyricists in the 30s, 40s, 50s, which we'll get to in a second. The composer side of things is it's been quite difficult, I think. And even if there have been, it still feels like men are the only ones that are ever mentioned. And it's actually that there's a composer called Georgia Stitt, who's also a musical director and arranger, but she's sort of spearheaded this new company called Maestra, which some information will come up for you in a sec, but essentially it exists to give support, visibility and community to the women who make the music in the musical theatre industry, and it's time for them to be heard. So I know Georgia because she's married to Jason Robert Brown, and both of them provided songs for my album back in 2010. So I follow them all the time. But Georgia set this company up, this foundation up, simply because young women were coming to her and saying when she'd conducted something or she had some of her pieces included in a concert or a big choral arrangement of some sort, they were like, oh, it's so great to see a female composer being recognized in this way. And others came up, said, it's so lovely to hear about females in the industry because our curriculum at musical theatre writing school classes aren't highlighting these women. It's very male dominated. So she set up this company to help highlight all these wonderful works. A community too that she set up because she's put people in touch with each other as well, I think. Yeah, definitely. So if you want, we're going to play a video. It's kind of an intro video about them. So we've got stuff in the stable for you as well. So John, if you're okay, could you play this video, please? Thanks.
Maestra is a powerful resource. We need more women music makers on Broadway.
Working to make sure that in the future, quality is not a question.
White men are willfully keeping opportunities from those who don't look like them.
Every pit that I clean in, we're all men. I think many times we have heard people say, I would like to hire women, but I just don't know where to find them.
Maestra is a not-for-profit organization that I started 2.5 years ago. The directory that we built is the go-to resource in our industry for people who say, I want to hire more diversity. I don't know where to find them.
There's only been one female orchestrator to have worked on Broadway in the last decade.
Why didn't anybody think of this before?
Community is sustenance. Community is support. It's something that's hopefully going to help a lot of people.
I hear all the time from the instrumentalists that I work with that they get jobs in the Maestra directory.
I was working on a project. We went on the Maestra database and we found a number of female music directors working in the area.
For the longest time, there were a million reasons about why there weren't more women working in the musical theater. Maestra is systematically knocking down all of those obstacles.
Actually having a place to come together and hear how other people are working and how other women are making it work.
This organization is filled a really important need.
I just think it's a brilliant and so necessary organization. Composers, lyricists, librettists, music directors. It's an organization we can point to and say, here they are. Hire them.
And this year we're hiring a statistician to look at what the numbers really are in the industry so that we can tell the story and tell it definitively and change it.
Thank you for creating a path for the women of my generation.
There you go.
Yeah, that's Maestra. So if you're interested, then do go and check them out. And there's so much more information to find out. There's even a directory on there of that you can filter through by expertise, role, position,
And you can get a list of shows that have been written by women. We're only scratching the tip of the iceberg.
So it's a really fantastic organisation. We'll tell you more about it later on, an event that they've got coming up. But in the meantime, why don't we celebrate one of the most prolific?
Exactly, I was going to say. But if you do think of a female composer, you think of Jeanine Tesori, who entered the scene about 20 years ago with Thoroughly Modern Millie, and has just continued to write show after show after show that is just incredible music. Most recently, she did a show in 2015 that she wrote the music, and a woman named Lisa Cron wrote the lyrics to the show called Fun Home. And they were the first female composing team that won Best Score for a musical. So that was 2015 it took till that happened.
Till then.
Anyway, so she's prolific, and she is continuing to work, and I can't wait to see what she comes up with next. And this show Fun Home is about it's about a woman who is gay, who has a father who is gay, but her father is married to her mother still, and he has been unfaithful to her mother throughout the course of their relationship, and the mom knows. And so basically what's happening in this song is the daughter is saying to her mom, she's like, how could you have let this go on for so long? Like, why are you still here? Why are you still with him? And Judy Kuhn played this role on Broadway, Pocahontas. And she just answered, this is her response. Days and days and days, that's how it happens. Days and days and days, made of lunches and car rides and shirts and socks and grades and piano, and no one clocks the day you disappear. Days and days and days, that's how it happens. Days and days and days, made of posing and bragging and fits of rage, and boys, my God, some of them underage. And oh, how did it all happen here? There was a time your father swept me off my feet with words. We read books, strolled through Munich, at night drank beer with friends, discussed the places we would go. And he said I understood how the world made him ache. But no, that's how it happens. Days made of bargains I made because I thought as a wife I was meant to, and now my life is shattered and laid bare. Days and days and days and days and days and days and days. Welcome to our house on Maple Avenue. See how we polish and we shine. We rearrange and realign. Everything is balanced and serene. Like chaos never happens if it's never seen. Don't you come back here. I didn't raise you to give away your days like me.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like when you
Happy Sunday.
But when you watch the show, like, she doesn't have a moment really where she emotes and actually opens up until this moment, and she's so brave throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, and put together. She's just very because as soon as she admits anything, it all crumbles. Or Oi!
That's a lot.
We're gonna sing something else by Jeanine Tesori that's a little happier.
Yeah, so Jeanine tends to write quite serious and important pieces of musical theatre. Caroline or Change did the same, even Violet. But there was one show that sort of took us all by surprise, yet is just fantastic. And I'm only saying that because I was in it and I love it. It was Shrek the Musical. And I think when you listen to what Heather just sang and then the score to Shrek the Musical, they're very different, but sort of shows exactly how great Jeanine Tesori actually is. She can just switch between style, feel, genre, period, you name it, she can do it. She's a remarkable woman. I only met her once.
Really?
But when I say I personally met her, we never shook hands and stuff, I met her in the sense that she came into rehearsal, was there for one afternoon, said hi to everybody, then fiddled around with some cuts and changes that the team wanted to make, and then she went, and then we didn't see her until opening night. So great. Either we were really, really good, or she just wanted to go and see some London. But I don't blame her. But Shrek was a real exciting and fun show to be a part of, and actually when you listen to the score in its entirety, there's lots of sort of tip of the hats to musical theatre classics.
Love it.
Throughout it. Not so much in this one, but let's just do it. This is called Who I'd Be, and it happens at the very end of Act 1, and I only remember that because from the moment the show starts till about 5 minutes before this song starts, we don't stop. We never stopped as fairy tale creatures and all of the other stuff. We just didn't stop. And it was at this point we got to take off our stuff, go upstairs and have our interval break.
Intermission if you're from America.
Intermission if you're from America. But then when we were there, I always used to get up just in time and would hear this over the tannoy, this song. And I just loved it. It's a fantastic end of Act 1. Here we go. I guess I'd be a hero with sword and armor clashing, looking semi-dashing, a sword within my grip. Or else I'd be a Viking and live a life of daring while smelling like a herring. Upon a Viking ship I'd sail away, I'd see the world, I'd reach the farthest reaches, I'd feel the wind, I'd taste the salt and sea, and maybe storm some beaches. That's who I'd be. That's who I'd be. Or I could be a poet and write a different story, one that tells of glory and wipes away the lies. Into the skies I'd throw it, the stars would do the telling, the moon would help with spelling, and night would dot the I's. I'd write a verse, recite a joke with wit and perfect timing. I'd share my heart, confess the things I yearned, and do it all while rhyming. But we all learn, an ogre always hides. An ogre's fate is known. An ogre always stays in the dark and all alone. So yes, I'd be a hero, and if my wish was granted, life would be enchanted, or so the stories say. Of course I'd be a hero, and I would scale a tower to save a hothouse flower and carry her away. But standing guard would be a beast, I'd somehow overwhelm it. I'd get the girl, I'd take a breath, and I'd remove my helmet. We'd stand and stare, we'd speak of love, we'd feel the stars ascending, we'd steal a kiss, I'd find my destiny, I'd have a hero's ending, a perfect that's how it would be. A big, bright, beautiful world. But not for me.
An ogre always hides, an ogre's fate is known. An ogre always stays in the dark.
You're all alone. So yes, I'd be a hero. And if my wish was granted, life would be enchanted. Or so the stories say. Of course, I'd be a hero, and I would scale a tower to save a hothouse flower and carry her away. A perfect happy ending, that's how it should be. It's so awesome, like it, and it's like, it's nice to have an end of Act 1 that isn't the entire company going, ah!
Yeah.
It's like, it's just all emotion led, and it's, love it,
So
love
good.
it. It was one of the best moments in the show. Oh,
You
love it.
sounded fantastic, my love.
Thank you, Annie. You too. It was nice to have
thanks.
a princess to
A little
sing
bit
with.
of Fiona there. Yesterday he goes, "You have a part in this," and I was like, "What?"
Oh,
guys.
thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
So that wraps up the composer, the solo composer side of things.
That's kind
tonight.
of appropriate then. It just sort of goes to a big thing. Yeah.
We're
great.
going to move on to the women who wrote the lyrics for shows and worked with composers. So we're going to start with a woman named Dorothy Fields, who worked for 50 years, her career was.
We have mentioned her during like the 30s and 40s show and stuff like that.
Yeah, she started in the 30s, late 20s, I think, and worked all the way through the 70s. I mean, out of control. Incredible. And she won an Oscar in 1936 for writing the lyrics to the song "The Way You Look Tonight." She wrote the lyrics to "On the Sunny Side of the Street."
She never won a Tony though, did she?
She never won a Tony. No.
But like an Oscar, like
She's an Oscar.
It's great.
Right, very early in her career too. But she's highly, highly respected. Stephen Sondheim actually loves it. I read that he absolutely adores her lyric specifically for "On the Sunny Side of the Street." But they attribute her longevity in her career to, that's awesome. Her longevity to her ability to shift and be willing to work with the times. Excuse me, and adjust and make adjustments accordingly. Like, for example, she started in doing review shows, and then she was the one who had the idea for Annie Get Your Gun in the first place, and then had to convince Irving Berlin that he could write for a book musical. Like, it's just, and she's like, come on, you got it.
But like, it's quite a cool thing, like to be a trailblazer.
Yeah, and so all the way into the 60s, she started working with Cy Coleman, and she had finally her biggest hit, really, in Sweet Charity. And
Gwen Verdon.
I love the idea that the woman who wrote the lyrics for Big Spender also wrote the lyrics for The Way That You Look Tonight. So amazing.
That's pretty, you don't really think about it, do you?
No.
But it's like, yeah, there we go.
So we're going to sing a little duet from this show that is
such a silly ditty.
Random and silly, but it's also cute, and it kind of just shows like her spunk and her energy behind the lyrics that she wrote. So here we go. When I'm so jittery, my knees buckle, ice water tickles my spine. I'm trapped like a butterfly in a net. Then I say to myself, I'm the bravest individual I have ever met. This game makes very good sense, I get results.
Isn't that great?
Get back my confidence and an even pulse, 78. So when I panic and think each day I've come to the end of the line, then I say the fear hasn't licked me yet. I keep telling myself I'm the bravest individual I have ever met.
I mean, this is is a fantastic show, and there's amazing songs from it that we have chosen not to highlight in this one.
So that we can do it in the 60s show.
Exactly. Smart. And plus, belting is not as easy for you at the moment. Funny, but suddenly I can't swallow. I think I'm going to die. Sometimes, if you'll pardon the word, I sweat.
Then you say to yourself that I'm the bravest individual I have ever met. Yes,
I'm the bravest individual I have ever met. Your game makes very good sense. I get results.
Isn't that fine?
Got back my confidence and an even pulse. 109.
So when you panic and feel each day you'll fail at whatever you try,
I just say that fear hasn't licked me yet.
and keep telling yourself that
I'm the strongest, soundest, stoical, daringest, manliest, most heroical. I'm the bravest individual I have ever met. It's just fun. Just a cute little ditty.
yes, a little ditty.
But there's some great songs on it. Make me Big Spender. Or what's the other one? Got to be something better than this.
If they could see me now. That one too.
Right, some
That's
great
in my
ones.
request.
Thanks, me.
That is Stuart.
That is me, is it? Well, so thanks, Ripper. Here we go. Right, so
How are we doing, everybody? You having a good time out there?
hope you're all enjoying it.
Hope you're enjoying it.
And also hearing
Thank you,
stuff
Linda.
that you may not have heard before.
Yeah.
And learning about women that you may not have heard of before. So that's the aim of the game today.
We said in our stay bill this week that we hope that you guys find a song that you've never heard before or are inspired to go listen to a score that you've never heard before, because a lot of these are new to us and we assume they're new to you as well. So yes, and if you'd like to thank you, John. Well done, John Richardson, you guys. Our producer for the evening is wonderful. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Oh,
Don't worry.
do we have a
Carry-
text message? Oh, just
yeah.
kidding. It's all fine. That was our producer, John Richardson. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Your tips and donations go to helping us pay that gentleman. So yes, you can do so by following all the instructions we talked about before.
Yes.
Anyway, so we're going to move on to another very prolific lyricist who was working with Dorothy Fields around the same time, but then after as well. Betty Comden. And of the writing team at Comden and Green with Out of Green. They worked together for 60 years, you guys.
60
years. Starting with On the Town with Bernstein. And then they had a couple flops, went to Hollywood, wrote the screenplay for this little movie called Singing in the Rain. You might have heard of it. And then came back and wrote a bunch more for Broadway. This was another one of their collaborations with Bernstein from a show called Wonderful Town, which we didn't sing from in our 1950s show. I think it's in 54. So I'm going to sing a song that just only a woman can write these lyrics. They're so good.
We should mention.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course.
Betty Comden was the first female to win a Tony Award in 1978. It in itself is ridiculously late.
It took that long,
when she had been writing for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah. Very nice.
There we go.
All right, so here we go. This is, if anybody's needing this advice, this is 100 easy ways to lose a man.
Oh.
Excuse me.
That's one of them.
Chapter 1, the first way to lose a man. You've met a charming fellow and you're out for a spin. The motor fails and he just wears a helpless grin. Don't bat your eyes and say, what a romantic spot we're in. Just leap out, crawl under the car, say it's the gasket, and fix it in 2 seconds flat with a bobby pin. That's a good way to lose a man. He takes you to a baseball game, you sit knee to knee. He says the next man up at bat will bunt, you'll see. Don't say, ooh, what's a bunt? This game's too hard for little old me. Just say, bunt? Are you nuts? With no outs, 2 men on the base, and a left-handed batter coming up, he'll walk right into the triple play, just like it happened in the 5th game of the World Series in 1923. That's a good way to lose a man. A sure way to lose a man. A splendid way to lose a man. Just throw your knowledge in his face. He'll never try for second base. 98 ways to go. The 3rd way to lose a man. The lifeguard at the beach that all the girlies adore swims bravely out to save you through the ocean's roar. Don't say, oh thanks, I would have drowned in just 1 second more. Just push his head under the water and yell, last one in is a rotten egg, and race him back to the shore. That's a swell way to lose a man. You found your perfect mate and it's been love from the start. He whispers, you're the one to who I give my heart. Don't say, I love you too, my dear, let's never ever part. Just say, I'm afraid you've made a grammatical error. It's not to who I give my heart, it's to whom I give my heart. You see, with the use of the preposition to, who becomes the indirect object, making the use of whom imperative, which I can easily show you by drawing a simple chart. That's a fine way to lose a man. A fine way to lose a man. A dandy way to lose a man. Just be more well-informed than he. You'll never hear or promise me. Just show him where his grammar errs. Then mark your towels, hers and hers. Yes, girls, you too can lose your man if you will use Ruth Sherwood's plan. 100 easy ways to lose a man.
I mean,
there you go.
When we're highlighting lyrics,
I know, right?
What could be better than that?
It's brilliant.
Absolutely
and also,
brilliant.
It shows what it was to be a woman in the industry, too. She's like, I know how you really piss a guy off. Be smarter than him. Yeah. Essentially. Yeah. And also not need him. I just think, I think it's brilliant. So, luckily, that's not how he is at all. So, there we go. It's true.
I mean, I'm glad that I haven't annoyed you.
You know that I'm smarter than you, and
yes.
You know that I don't need you.
That's
I do. I'm just kidding.
The truth of it all. Right. Well,
right, moving right along.
Very appropriate for this next song, then, really, isn't it? Another great lyricist who's actually written so many shows, incredible scores and lyrics by Lynn Ahrens. Mm-hmm. And also they've worked a lot for, well, it's not Disney, they've written
No, but they did Anastasia, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they wrote Anastasia.
Yes. And Rocky the Musical, which I saw in Germany like 3 times and loved it, just
Amazing.
because, I mean, I couldn't understand a word of it except Rocky, duh. But then they just had this I'm going off.
The ring,
on that.
right?
They had like like the fighting ring was built
they had it
on the
Broadway.
stage. And then they got the first like 10 to 20 rows of the audience to come up on stage and sit in new seats, and then suddenly the ring came out onto the stalls, and we were suddenly in a complete sort of arena feel. It was awesome, and it was so well choreographed, and it was brilliant. And it's Rocky, yes, my nose.
Anyway, that's not
we're not doing
maybe their most
from that.
successful show that they've written. But they've written a lot of really good ones, and one I've been in this show. Have you? No.
No, I've seen it and I love it because but we don't have this culture here as much. But the musical has been here because it's a great family show. But it's great.
Well, we're gonna sing a song from Seussical the Musical. Stu's gonna play Horton the elephant. I'm gonna play Jojo the child, that lives on a speck of dust that's on this clover that Horton found, and he heard the small voice of Jojo yelling out, "Is anybody there?" Because Jojo's a lonely kid. So this is they find friendship in the most unlikely of places.
Yep. I've been guarding this clover for over a week, getting laughed at for thinking a dust speck can speak. Well, let them laugh. I'll try not to mind. for I have found something that they'll never find. There are secrets on a leaf, in the water, in the air, hidden planets, tiny worlds, all invisible. Not a person seems to know, not a person seems to care. There is no one who believes a thing I say. Well, I'm fairly certain at one time or other, great thinkers all feel this way. I'm alone in the universe, so alone in the universe. I found magic, but they won't see it. They all call me a lunatic. Okay, call me a lunatic. If I stand on my own, so be it. 'Cause I have wings, I can fly around the moon and far beyond the sky. And one day soon, I know there you'll be. One small voice in the universe, one true friend in the universe, who believes in me.
I'm alone in the universe, so alone in the universe. My own planets and stars are glowing.
Alone in the universe.
No one notices anything. Not one person is listening. They don't have any way of knowing.
Nobody knows that I have wings.
I have wings.
Yes, I can fly,
I can
around the moon and far beyond the sky. Well, someday soon you will hear my plea. One small voice in the universe,
one true friend in the universe. Please believe in me.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Who's there?
Oh, it's me, Jojo, the mayor's son.
Oh, I'm Horton, the elephant.
Are you real? Or are you a very large think?
Oh, I'm very real, all right. I would state that in ink.
In my thinks, I imagine a lot of strange things, and I go to strange places. As if I had wings! I love a good think.
Well, for me, that goes double.
Sometimes my thinks are what get me into trouble.
When you think, do you dream?
In bright colors.
Me too! And I go to strange places like Seussical.
When you think, do you think you could fly to the stars?
Oh, little friend, no one could have things such as ours. Yes, I have wings. Yes, I can fly around the moon and far beyond the sky. You called my name and you set me free. One small voice in the universe,
one true friend in the universe.
Who believes in me? Oh, I mean, isn't it just the sweetest song?
I love
it's
that.
Heartbreaking and full of hope simultaneously. It's just
two people or creatures that need each other. They find each other. Yeah, I love it. Oh man, so that is one of the shows that Aarons and Flaherty wrote, but now we're going to jump to their probably the one that really knocked it out of the park, their first one. which is, of course, Ragtime. It swept the Tonys, had numerous successful revivals, and it's just magnificent.
But the lyrics are remarkable.
Yes.
But let's not sort of hide away from how good the score is to that as well.
Absolutely.
Stephen Flaherty's musical compositions were just soaring and so complex and beautiful from start to finish. It's one of the best musicals.
Unbelievable.
But we're not focusing on him, but I just was like, it just...
No, the whole thing is, a lot of people consider it perfect. So I am going to sing the song that they wrote for Mother, the main female character, and she sings this towards the end of the show. She has a really cool arc that she goes on where she discovers things about herself and her own strength and her own beliefs. And she realizes that once you learn certain things, sometimes you have to leave people and life, a familiar life behind. So this is Back to Before. There was a time our happiness seemed never ending. I was so sure that where we were headed was right. Life was a road so certain and straight and unbending. Our little road with never a crossroad in sight. Back in the days when we spoke in civilized voices, women in white and sturdy young men at the oar. Back in the days when I let you make all my choices. We can never go back to before. There was a time my feet were so solidly planted. You'd sail away while I turned my back to the sea. I was content, a princess asleep and enchanted. If I had dreams, then I let you dream them for me. Back in the days when everything seemed so much clearer, women in white who knew what their lives held in store. Where are they now, those women who stared from the mirror? We can never go back to before. There are people out there unafraid of revealing that they might have a feeling, or they might have been wrong. There are people out there unafraid to feel sorrow, unafraid of tomorrow, unafraid to be weak, unafraid to be strong. There was a time when you were the person in motion. I was your wife. It never occurred to want more. You were my sky, my moon, and my stars and my ocean. We can never go back to before. We can never go back to
before. 7.5 months pregnant. What? I know you sort of practiced it when we first had roulette and stuff, but it's never come out, and so I've just not heard you sing it since the dawn of time.
I mean, honestly, dream roll right there. Mother and Ragtime.
Right, there we go.
Thanks, guys.
Honey, that was remarkable.
Thank you. It's epic. Maren Maisie, R.I.P. Yeah. Anyway,
well,
it's just I love it. The whole score.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks, I'm just like, this is cool. Like, I'm having a lovely time. Yes, women.
By the way, when I'm holding my stomach, it's not because anything's wrong. Because Stu asked me that before. He was like, "Are you worried?" I'm like, "Nope. It's just I have nothing. This is just a nice thing to hold on to."
Yeah, I've got that too, but I don't have a baby in mind, sadly.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
So there we go. Like, I'm just going to do a shameful thing and just say, if you ever was a time to tip, it's things like that. Like, that's amazing. Like, I want to tip Heather, but it would only come to us anyway, and so, like, there's no point. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll just sign in and I'll tip you for, like, being amazing. Because, like, I think I take it for granted sometimes with just how good you really are.
Just say, don't take any wooden nickels, and there's a tip.
Brilliant. Moving on.
Anyway.
So this next song, okay, it's from a show. It's never come to the UK because it didn't do very well. Yet for some, like,
we love it.
we love singing the songs. It's great fun.
No,
but
Americans love the Scarlet Pimpernel.
The Americans love it.
Yes, because it is all the things that you guys probably roll your eyes at with, like, the British, like, silliness to it. We eat that up, really, seriously. Well, I've done this show.
But I feel like people just don't like Frank Wildhorn's music, or it's like it's just a bit poppy-esque in its thing. And in the 90s,
I love it.
when we just had, like, things like Les Mis and stuff like that, and Phantom all coming out, and
there wasn't as much substance to it. That's true. Yeah,
it wasn't as much depth to it, but yet in Europe they've loved Frank Wildhorn. In Japan they love Frank Wildhorn. Yes. But the reason we thought we can finally do something from Frank Wildhorn, but more importantly, because he co-wrote The Scarlet Pimpernel with Nan Knighton. Mm-hmm. So, like, we get to sing something with lyrics by a woman in our female show. So,
so enjoy this song.
We love it.
From Scarlet Pimpernel. In the show, at least in one version of the show, they're getting married while they sing this song.
There we go.
Did you know that?
I did not. I just like singing it.
It comes very early in the show, too. It's like the second number. There is a child inside my heart tonight. No one can see that child but you. If I hold on to you too tight, you understand, you hold me too.
You are the one who reaches through the dark. When I'm afraid, you warm the air. And when I close my eyes to sleep, you are my peace, you are my prayer, you are my home, you make me strong. And in this world of strangers, I belong to someone. You are all I know, you're all I have, I won't let go. I mean, it is, right? It's a pop.
Others may leave, but you will still be there, touching the tears that fill my eyes.
When I am lost, you are my light, you are the love that never dies. You are my home, you make me strong. And in this world of strangers, I belong to someone. You are all I know, you're all I have, I need you so.
I will not walk away from you, I will not let you
just you gotta love the key changes in a Frank Wildhorn score. But yeah, again, lovely. Like for what it is, it does its job.
I love
right?
it.
It's just.
I want you to sing Into the Fire sometime.
Oh, okay. Into the fire we go. Or like a Falcon in the Dive is a great song.
Yeah,
Prayer is a beautiful song. Not some of the camp kind of like British taking the Michael stuff. We shall not be doing that. Thank you. Stiff upper lip, all that. So now we move on to our final section of the evening, where we sort of celebrate and highlight women who write both the music and the lyrics.
Yes.
And we're starting off with quite an epic. In 2012, we were hit with this vibrant, epic musical set in Northampton about Price's Boots, I think.
Yeah,
exactly.
There we go. Came from a film. And they got a little lady named Cyndi Lauper to write the score, to pen the score for it. Apparently, the way that she wrote it is she would come up with a song, record it, like the melody on her phone, and then just give it to Stephen Aramis to orchestrate and flesh out. But she was the first solo woman to win the Tony for Best Original Score in 2012. It's very recent.
I mean, I have a feeling that it's gonna be there's gonna be a lot more.
I think that a woman, I can't pronounce her name, Anais, the woman who won for Hadestown, just a couple.
Right.
I think, So we're getting more and more frequently.
We had thought about putting Hadestown in, but it's very complicated stuff to sing, and as a lot of you probably do or don't realise, to be fair, we don't start thinking about the next show until like the next morning after our previous concert. So like,
oh my gosh, that's amazing, Cheryl. She's from the
there we go. There you go. Living the dream. So like tomorrow, we're going to start getting everything together and start looking at songs and shows. We literally spend the whole week researching and learning material for the next Sunday. So we started to look at the Hadestown stuff, and we're like, we just don't feel like we're going to be able to pull this off in a week. So apologies for that. But like, if you don't know Hadestown, where have you been? You must listen to Hadestown. It is a fantastic show. Very weird, but it's cool, right?
It's really cool.
And if you're ever in New York when Broadway's back open, try to get a ticket to it. I loved it. I sat on my own because you were I think on a cruise at that point, and I just sat and watched it. Loved it. Brilliant. Anyway, so back to Northampton with some boots that are a little bit kinky. So my mate Dave Harkness, I think, has wanted me to sing this song. So
it's in your
it is in my roulette. Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a go. There is a bit in the middle where there's a key change that can just come out of nowhere. I have no idea.
24 times, amazing.
You've seen Kinky Boots 24 times.
I love that.
Crazy. But it's something about that show. Like that people just leapt to their feet at the end of it. It's really good at making you feel good.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's give this a whirl. I mean, it's very Cyndi Lauper.
I love it.
I'm bad newser, black and blueser. Who's a loser? A merry-go-round spiraling down. I'm all used up. I'm chafed and chewed up. Who's just screwed up? The same old Charlie hitting the ground. 'Cause I'll never be the soul of a man, noble and wise like the soul of a man who lifted me high like the soul of a man, heroic and true like the soul of a man that I looked up to. What else could I do? Stupid hubris, no excuses, blew my fuses. I guess I'm just a ruse in my father's shoes, not amusing, no confusing this streak of losing, totally brutal and useless too. How can I be the soul of a man, noble noble and wise, like a soul of a man who lifted me high, like the soul of a man, heroic and true, like the soul of a man that I looked up to. What else could I? Just when I'm reaching for the rung up top, I'm that broken heel, unsteady and ready to stop. When will I be the soul of a man, noble and wise, like the soul of a man who lifted me high, the soul of a man, heroic and true, like the soul of a man that I looked up to. What else could I do? I'll never be. I have gotta let you down. Oh, soul of a man. Here comes that familiar sound. Same old Charlie hitting the ground.
Yes, I see that. I see that tip information scrolling below. There's Dave Harkness. If you like that,
Just Dave.
Send us to a tip or a donation for that key change.
Whew.
That was awesome.
Guys, you can't see, but my butt just goes. At that point, it's like, oh.
That was amazing. Well done. You're so happy right now?
Oh, I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. That's one of the ones I always dreaded coming out in roulette as well. Because of that key change.
But I think, too, the other thing, because Sue's like, yeah, we don't start working on it until Monday. But, like, that's when we start figuring out what's going to go in the set list. The set list doesn't actually really get decided until Tuesday or Wednesday. So we really start learning these on, like, Thursday. So if sometimes we're a little like, that's why you're watching us just not sight read, but, you know.
We're
doing our best. So thank you so much for those of you who keep coming back.
Thanks, Moira.
We're going to move on to a show that I think a lot of you love, because when we sang a song from this show a couple weeks ago in roulette, everybody was quite happy. So we're going to move right along, and I think we should just go into it. This beautiful show called Once. The music and lyrics were written by Glenn Hansgard and the Marketa Irglova. I probably said her name wrong, but so from the film, the two that you see in the movie wrote the songs and the lyrics. And this one is the duet that we didn't sing a couple weeks ago. So This is When Your Mind's Made Up. You ready, babe?
Yeah, another one with annoying counting.
Thank you, Cheryl.
So, if you ever want something and you call, then I'll come running to fight, and I'll be at your door when there's nothing worth running for. When your mind's made up, when your mind's made up, there's no point trying to change it. When your mind's made up, when your mind's made up, there's no point in trying to stop it. See,
yeah, there you go.
You're just like everyone. When the shit falls, all you wanna do is run away and hide all by yourself on this forefront. There's nothing else. When your mind's made up, when your mind's made up, there's no point in trying to change it. When your mind's made up, When your mind's made up, there's no point in even talking. When your mind's made up, when your mind's made up, there's no point in trying to fight it. When your mind, your mind. Something and you call, then I'll come running. I mean, that the worst thing is to go from a top A then to come straight down to an E.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So you can't help but sound like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it's amazing, lovely. Yeah,
great.
I love that.
I mean,
and it's so
great.
cool on the show because it's like 10 people just singing their hearts out during that section and playing as well. Just, it's, I mean, I love once.
Emotional moment. It's great. Plus, you can get beer before and during the interval.
On stage.
In like an Irish pub. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
Loved it.
Battle of Bubbles, I'm very jealous.
Oh, very nice, Christine.
So,
yeah. Okay, then, birthday girl, sort of.
Fake.
Still?
Fake
birthday girl. What are you going to hit us with next?
So we're going to move on to a show that came out recently, I think in 17. Maybe 18 though to Broadway. 17? Anyway, When did Come From Away? Somebody will know this information. Come From Away. This show is so good. I think it's on the West End right now. Yeah. Well, they're going to make it into a film too, I heard.
Oh, yes. I think Netflix doing it?
I don't know.
I feel like it's a Netflix thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
This show, if you guys don't know, is written by husband and wife team, Irene Sankoff and her husband, David Hine. And it is a show that is about the 38 planes that were grounded on 9/11. After the terrorist attacks occurred, there were all these planes in the sky, and they were all directed to this small town of Gander, Nova Scotia. Tiny, tiny little town, and all of a sudden they had 7,000 extra people. And the town banded together and took care of these stranded people from all over the world. And the show, all the cast plays.
Davina.
Oh my God, amazing!
An Islander.
She's from. Oh my God, that's so cool. So the cast plays all these different people, and this is one that I saw on my own because I had an afternoon off in New York, and I was just like, what should I do tonight? And Stu, I don't know where you were, maybe at home. You might have been here, and you were like, see Come From Away. Is it on TKTS? TKTS. And I was like, yes. And so I got one of the last tickets available, and I was just
no regrets.
Bawled my eyes out. Yeah, it was amazing. So the whole show it's like one act, 90 minutes straight through, and I
love it. Everybody loves it. Everyone who's seen it
so
loves
good.
it. If you think like, oh, I don't know, it seems like it's not really for me.
It's not.
Give it a go.
It's not sad. That's the thing. I said I bawled my eyes out, but I bawled my eyes out because the story is about human, like the goodness of humanity,
human nature, and that sort of sense of community as well. And from the moment that it started, welcome to the Rock, it was so just good. Like straight through to the end.
It's epic.
The time flies by. It's brilliant. Anyway, sorry, honey.
No, that's okay. So this show is kind of sung and scenes interweave very organically. So there's not that many solo songs, but there's this great one that they wrote for the woman who is playing one of the pilots of the plane that was grounded. And she has quite a cool story. So I'm going to do my best at 7.5 months pregnant singing this song for you guys called Me in the Sky. My parents must have thought they had a crazy kid, 'cause I was one of those kids who always knew what I wanted. They took me down to the airport to see all the planes depart, and watching them cry, something inside of me was starting. I was 8 when I told them that I'd be a pilot, but I was too young and too short, and there were no female captains, and my dad said, be patient, he said, just see what happens. But I took my first lesson, came down from the sky, and told my father I'd fly for the rest of my life. And I got my first job flying for a mortician in a tiny bonanza, just a corpse and me. $5 an hour for flying dead bodies. I had to climb over their faces just to get to my seat. And suddenly the wheels lift off, the ground is falling backwards. I am suddenly alive. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly everything's changed. Suddenly I'm not too young or too short, and the passengers in the back don't complain. Suddenly I'm flying company charters. Suddenly everything's high. Suddenly there's nothing in between me and the sky. American Airlines, they have the prettiest planes. So I applied as a flight engineer. But the World War II pilots, they all complained. They said girls shouldn't be in the cockpit. Hey lady, hey baby, hey, why don't you grab us a drink? And the flight attendants weren't my friends back then, and they said, are you better than us, do you think? But I kept getting hired, and the World War II crew, they retired, and the girls all thought much higher than me. 1986, the first female American captain in history. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly I've got my wings. Suddenly all of the pilots protesting me, well, they can get their own drinks. Suddenly there's no one saying stay grounded, looking down, passing them by. Suddenly there's nothing in between me and the sky. Suddenly I've got an all-female crew. The news caught and made headlines across the world. Suddenly it stopped. No one saying you can't or you won't, or you know you're not anything 'cause you're a girl. Suddenly I'm getting married, and we're putting pins on a match where we've flown. Suddenly I am a mother, and suddenly shocked at how much they've grown. Suddenly I'm wondering how my parents would feel seeing me teaching men to be pilots. 'Cause suddenly I am a senior instructor, and somehow I'm 51. Suddenly I'm flying Paris to Dallas, across the Atlantic and feeling calm, when suddenly someone on air-to-air traffic says at 8:46 there's been a terrorist action, and the one thing I loved more than anything was used as a bomb. Suddenly I'm in a hotel. Suddenly something has died. Suddenly there's something in between me and the sky.
You alright?
Yeah.
I'm just expecting you to pass out in the middle of something.
No.
But what a wonderfully empowering story for young women.
Yeah.
Just in the rise of this woman through the ranks to becoming everything she wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then crush you at the end with how it can never be the same because of what happened.
It's a really beautifully crafted song.
It's fantastic.
And they were the writing team. They were in New York when 9/11 happened. So it's just like they obviously Anyway, so that is.
Well, Heather's gonna take a minute now.
I'm gonna take a break. What a song, man!
It's a good chance to kind of take this moment to come back to Maestra that we mentioned at the beginning of our show. So they've actually got a benefit concert happening a week tomorrow on Monday the 29th of March. I think it's broadcast at US time, but you'll be able to check all this out. Essentially, it is a free ticketed event. You go to the website, which we'll have up in a moment, but you can sign up, get the tickets. If you wish to donate further, it's kind of like a sort of a tier system, like a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter. So if you want, you can get a few extra benefits by donating money towards the foundation themselves. But just wanted to share a video, which is the trailer for this show called...
Bernadette Peters is going to perform at the event.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Kate Baldwin is one of the organisers and leaders of this event, and she's brought all of her Broadway colleagues together. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to watch it.
Yeah.
So yes, please watch this trailer for Amplify happening on March the 29th. Thanks, John.
Let's make a wonderful world. Let's make a wonderful world. Let's make a wonderful world. And I think to myself, let's make a world.
Hi, I'm Andrea Burns.
Hi, I'm Brooks Ashmanskas, and we will be your hosts for this evening.
Let's make a wonderful world. And I think to myself, how can I change the world? How can I change the
So there you go.
I mean, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So, if you are in America, definitely try to tune in and watch it. I'm going to look to see what we have to do to watch it in UK time.
And Jen Colella, who originated the song that I just sang, she's probably singing at that event. The sound.
Most likely, yeah, probably would be.
Her face was up there, so that's pretty cool.
Cool. So there you go. You've now learnt about a brand new organisation. You've learnt about a free concert that you can watch next Monday night. I think we've done pretty well there. So as we said earlier, it was founded by Georgia Stitt, who is a wonderful writer. She's got many albums out on iTunes and Spotify, so do check those out and Georgia's work. Just brilliant. She released a new one during lockdown, actually. I love it. It's brilliant. So obviously I met Georgia through Jason and my work with Simon Grief and Sinji Productions. And when we decided to record an album of my stuff, we thought, what has Georgia got? Because we would love to have a song by Georgia on there. And she sent through this rendition called Sonnet 29, which is essentially the William Shakespeare text from Sonnet 29 with music that she has set to it. And we thought, okay, we'll do that song and put it on the album. So I think this is the first time I have sung this in probably about 7-8 years.
And she's playing on the track, right?
Yeah, Georgia is playing on it. Jason was actually conducting. This is the track that's taken from the album when we were in the studio in LA recording it. The string players are 6 string players who had to leave our session a bit early to go and record the final episode of Lost. That happened. So I was like, this is really cool. I've got these really cool musicians playing. So Georgia's on the piano playing this and Jason was conducting. It was a very surreal day, but I loved it. So here we go. in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes. I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day, arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered, such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. Nice, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's gorgeous.
It's such a beautiful piece of music that Georgia wrote for it. Apologize, I had a bit of a croaky moment for the first half of the song.
Beautiful.
But
Gorgeous.
we got it. Thanks, mother. There we
The
go.
baby started kicking a little bit.
Oh,
as in
see,
right
the
there.
baby does
There.
like me a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Either that,
It
was
always
just
kicks
like,
when you're singing.
Well, that's because it's like, please,
No.
enough, Dad.
No,
Stop it, Dad.
No. Oh,
Right,
that's stunning. Well, we
Thank you for sticking with us.
you guys, we made it to our last song of the evening. So thank you so much for being here. We hope you guys learned something. Maybe you found a new composer or a new song or a new show that you want to check out. We had a lot of fun learning about all of these ladies this week. And again, like there's a lot more that we didn't even get to talk about. So do your research if you're interested. Go check out the concert next Monday. And yeah, next week we're doing the musicals of the 1960s.
Oh, yes.
Now, the 1960s had a lot of musicals.
Had a lot.
Like, we were looking at the list of shows that came out each year, and we've decided we're going to do a part 1 and a part 2 because literally there are, like, 1964 is like Funny Girl, Man of La Mancha, Hello Dolly, like there's like 5 alone.
Yeah,
we could do a whole show of 1964.
64, yeah. Totally.
So we will be doing, 1960s to 1964 next week. And I'm really excited. There's so many incredible shows. Yes, if you guys would like to help us continue to produce these shows, the information to how to give to us is scrolling along the bottom. You can also scan that QR code. Oh, that was weird.
Was that nice? Sorry, you weren't expecting that weird noise I made.
And we really appreciate it. It helps us pay for the tracks, pay for the charts, pay for our producer, and it really just helps us keep the whole thing in operation.
Rent. I'm just going to put out
Yeah,
pays rent.
It helps us continue to be able to put the time into these.
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
honest, so it's fantastic.
I'm just having some fun. So thank you to those who already have. We can see them when they come through and stuff, like little bits pop up. So we're
really
very, very grateful.
it.
So thank you.
So we are going to end the night. It's kind of an interesting, bold choice, I think, because I feel like nobody's heard this song before, and usually we like to have a big showstopper. Well, it is a showstopper, but we just didn't realize that it existed until we were researching for this show. Lucy Simon, the beautiful composer that we spoke of earlier, who wrote The Secret Garden, she wrote this other show, the only other show she really wrote, called Dr.
Zhivago.
Thank you.
Dr. Zhivago.
I'm so embarrassed. Complete and total flop on Broadway. I think it did pretty well in Australia with Anthony Warlow, because come on, Anthony Warlow.
Yeah.
But this song, there's some beautiful songs actually. There's a female song called When the Music Played that I would love to sing at some point in my lifetime.
I think there was a concert that was done at Cadogan Hall in the UK, I think either 2019, I think it was done. And I'm actually gutted that I didn't get to go and see it because it's just... I would have loved to have heard this played live with an orchestra.
Out of control, gorgeous. So we're going to sing this song, this duet called On the Edge of Time, and we hope you enjoy it. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for being here. Ready, sweetheart?
Oh, born ready. I just get excited as soon as I hear it.
It's so good. When you spoke, you broke me open, set my mind and body soaring. Every word I still remember, every whisper carries through.
In your eyes I saw the starlight, like a beacon never dimming. In your arms I was forgiven, lifted higher, born anew. You were always there, beyond the dark, lighting my existence. You, my answered prayer, my midnight sun, glowing in the distance, daring me to dream, blazing from afar. One star to guide me through and lead me here on the edge of time with you.
You showed me a place where hope was real, not a mere illusion. One unguarded space in my heart can heal from its mad confusion, sheltered from the storm in your warm embrace, a grace I never knew. I know at last, on the edge of time with you.
All the pain, all the years, all silent despair, all at once disappear, like mist in the air, like mist in the air. Let me share the days love's protection. Hold you in my arms so I can feel God in his perfection. This is why I live. This is real to feel the way I do. Forever free, forever true. On the edge of time with you. Oh, thank you very
Thank
much,
you, everybody.
ladies and
Thank you, John
gentlemen.
Richardson, for
Thank
producing
you.
this show. And we love you all.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
For the Epic 60s Part 1.
And next week we are going through daylight savings, so we'll be back to our normal time, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
Bye,
See you
guys.
later, guys. Thank you for
See ya.
joining us. Bye-bye.